Today I'm coming to you with another purchase from Shipwrecked Gift Shop. I've found that, in my opinion, they are the best mystery lot dealer of banknotes on eBay, where you actually don't know what you're getting. It's a real mystery lot. Now, this is the fourth different mystery lot I've purchased from them. Each one's different. This one is called the high-end banknotes. I paid about $25, and that included the shipping, and I get 25 banknotes. And it's supposed to, according to his listing, is supposed to have a catalog book value of over $100. So that means that on average, each of these is going to be worth over $4. So let me pause, tear this envelope open, and see what we have inside. The seller always includes a postcard to help keep the contents from bending, because a lot of these are going to be in an uncirculated condition. By the way, this is from Gooseberry Falls State Park. And I've never heard of that state park, so there you go. I don't know what state that's from. So here's the total of what I paid right here. 2138 plus 2 for shipping. And when I looked in the envelope, he actually had to pay himself $5 for shipping. So let's see, we are one step closer to getting into the envelope, where we've got 10,000 Afghanis on the first one that I can see. So here we go. Here's our first note, and like I saw through the window, it is 10,000 Afghanis. That is the currency of Afghanistan. And looking at the date here, well, that's their date right there. Looks like we've got a watermark. Can't really see what that is too well. Flip that one over, and the Afghanistan Bank. All right, the next one is going to be a Saddam Hussein note. So I know a lot of people are interested in collecting I guess the most notorious historic people. And so this is my second Saddam Hussein note that I've purchased off an eBay lot. This one is 25, the currency right there, so probably dinar, and we've got the Hussein watermark right there. I'm trying to figure out the year on this by looking at the numbers, and I guess this is just a serial number because it's repeated right there. Let's flip this one over, and well, it is 25 dinars, but I never found a year on this one. Okay, for our next one, we've got something from 1987, and at first look, I'm going to guess this is Cambodia, unless it tells me something different right here. Can we get a little closer on that one? Well, I can't really tell so far. 10 reals. Not too sure where this one is from. I don't think it's Thailand. And but maybe it's Burma. No, I don't remember Burma having. Well, I don't know. I'll have to come back and check this one out. Okay, so next one is Hrvatska. That would be Croatia. And a lot of their banknotes have this mathematician on it. At least all the ones I have. And so the name is right there. Ruder Boskovic. And but this is probably my first 50,000. So must be a higher value banknote. We've got some kind of watermark in there, and at least the backs are different on these. I'm hoping that with some of these that we'll have some interesting watermarks or other security features that we might not see in our own currency. Okay, so here is one from the country of Bosnia and Herzegovina. 25 dinara. Is that dinara in another language? So I know it's hard to find coins from there, but I wonder how easy it is to find banknotes. So this one just has a lot of micro printing on it and a small date of 1992 on here. And we got anything engraved in there? Not really. Next, we have one from North Korea, where I believe that is Kim Jong-il, showing up here. And just going from memory, I was about to say it's 70s, but now I saw the 1978 in the corner right here. So if you like the Saddam Hussein banknote, you're probably going to like the Kim Jong-un banknote. And must be some important cultural item on this side. So if nothing else, all these have some intricate printing, and these are not ones that that I have seen before in any other mystery lot that I've purchased off of eBay. So now we're getting to some of the really large banknotes that were produced by Zimbabwe. And I remember that at the time they had I believe it was the 100 trillion note was the largest one that they had produced. And this one is not of that series, but it was just about maybe the same year, maybe a little bit before. So we're looking like we've got 10 million on this one. And we've got a water flowing through the dam, and we've got a fish that shows up on this one. Let me go back to the other side. This one is not quite as interesting as the other ones, but yeah, I don't see these almost as much as hardly at all. This is my first from this series. I've got plenty of the next hyperinflation, which is probably the same year. Now we have one from Peru. We've got 10,000 intis, so from 1988, so that's another 10,000 of a currency that is probably worthless. I don't know if that drawing of Cesar Vallejo is the most flattering, just resting his chin on his hand, but I do like that one. I haven't seen this one before. One thing I like about this lot is these are all new to me, with the exception of the Croatia one, which is just different denominations. They all use the same look to them. Do we have anything in the window here? Looks like we have the same face in the window. So Santiago de Chuco, I guess. So here's one from Yugoslavia, and the Yugoslavian notes, especially from the early 90s, tend to be very common. But they didn't look like this one. So this one is 500 dinara. And by now I've seen so many Yugoslavian notes. They've got their currency has to be written in so many different languages. So this one will be from 1981. This one does appear to have a security stripe that runs through it, which I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen more of that from this particular lot so far. Here is the other side of this one. Next up, we've got another one that reminds me of that earlier banknote I couldn't identify. So we've got a 500 this time. Cambodia. So this time it does say Cambodia on it. 2004 has an interesting bridge. And I wonder what kind of car that is right there. Are there any well-known Cambodian cars? So this time in the window we have just more characters that I can't read. So here's another one from Yugoslavia, but this one is a much larger banknote than I'm used to seeing. So a lot of the this looks like more of the Yugoslavian notes that I'm used to getting from the late 80s and early 90s, and most of them have been either just generic people, or I've seen one of Nikola Tesla. This one is okay. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that name written right there, but someone who died in 1904. And so, how many dinara we've got here? So we've got 1,000, a million, a billion, 500 billion dinara. And series 1993 from Yugoslavia. All right, another South American. We've got this as I bang my camera here. We've got the Central Bank of Brazil with the 10 days Cruzeiros. And so this had to have been when they were going through some hyperinflation throughout the 70s and the 80s and the 60s, because they didn't use the Cruzeiro for very long. Looking for, we've got a watermark here, inside the lines. Don't see a year on this one. Next up, another one from Peru. So this one's going to be 10 soles de oro, which is a currency that I've seen from Peru from a long time. This one is 1976. So this one does have some religious imagery on it. And we've got this symbol that I'm familiar with seeing on a lot of their coins. And let's see, the name here, Garcilaso Inca de la Vega. Flip that one over, kind of an orangish brownish look here from, well, Lake Titicaca. So a well-known lake for all of America's middle school students. Next, we have something from Somalia. So we've got another one from Asia here. We've got, this must be when they're using the new shilling because it's got the N in front of it. So 50 shillings. Here it says Bank of Somalia, the way they spell their country. And we've got the figure and the watermark right there. On the back, we've got some, first I noticed the vegetation on here. I do see how they're showing this in different languages and money systems. All right, so here's another country that I don't recognize right off. It's Arabic. It's going to be from 2008. We've got 5. It's another one that has the security stripe that runs through it. Has words on the stripe. Looks like we have the same face in the watermark as well as the number 5 right here. And we've got Pakistan's for 5 rupees. And so there are a small number of, or most Arabic countries, their 5 looks like a more of a teardrop shape, but this one is more of an upside down heart that we see in that corner. That's an interesting, well, let's see what they got going on. They've got half of the that 5 upside down heart shape on this side. Flip it over, we've got the other half of it. So when you hold it up to the light, you see the whole number 5. So I think that's my first banknote from Pakistan. And I just now noticed that I do like these full color pictures that they've got. This one is Gwadar Seaport. Going back to Africa, here is one from Central Bank of Congo. This one's dated 2013. 50 francs. Going back to a time that they were ruled over by France. At one time, and then they just kept the currency for a while. So it says Makumi Tano. I wonder if that's the species of fish that are shown at the bottom. And then one village of Pêcheurs à bord de fleuve Congo. I can't speak French, so who knows if I got that right, but got to look at the village there. Here is our security stripe. And, oh, we've got an animal as a watermark here, so maybe some kind of deer. type animal there. All right, next one, another Arabic. So whatever this is, it's going to be 1/2. So 1 over the backward 7 is there 2. And based on the boat on the water, I'm going to say this is Kuwait. I'm guessing that is a serial number right here. Looks like we have the sailboat design again that we see right here. Yeah, so a half dinar from the Central Bank of Kuwait. And then looks like another one from Kuwait. This one's going to be 1/4 dinar, I suppose, because the backwards 3 is there 4. But I do see a date on it here of 19. I'm going to say that's 1968. I get the V and the upside down V confused between the 7 and the 8, but their 6 looks like our 7 with the year right there. Did the last one have a date right there? It did, so it was the same date on the last one. So we flip this one around. They have the 1/4 dinar showing some industry, same watermark. And then this one must be a full dinar from Kuwait. Same year being shown on this side. Then looks like some kind of old fortress on this side. The raised printing of the logo on the other side is visible through here. This one does have the security stripe that runs through it. Still see the sailboat right there. All right, and so I saw one from this country in my last video, and I could not remember what country this was from. It is a former Soviet country, and I'm thinking this is Uzbekistan. I see a year of 1999 in the top corner, 500, and I believe it looks like we would pronounce that Sim, but I believe that they pronounce that Sum. There's their watermark. Looks similar to that. Maybe that's a phoenix rising up there, and then we've got the horsebound soldier on the side. All right. So on our next one, we've got a some kind of government building on here. I'm guessing that currency is going to be rubles. Year 2000, so 500 rubles. Same building appears to be right there as we have here. So I like the watermarks that look like this, where it's almost like the reflective tape kind of weaves in and out of the paper. When you hold it up to the light, you can see the whole stripe, but when you hold it back like this, you've got kind of it's almost like a clear surface on here. So that is unusual. Hold it like that, it looks dark. Get it just right, and it's clear. So I don't know that I've seen one like that before. So that's kind of a neat feature. So I'm going to have to look up the country on that one. Next, we've got one from Venezuela. They redid their currency somewhere around 2017 or 2018. And they've got all these sideways notes where they have a hero of the country, this time Simon Bolivar, on one side. And we flip it over, and they're going to have animals. So this is a 100 Bolivares. We've got 2 birds on this. Let me go back to this a banknote here. So we've got, this time they've got holograms on their stripe. Hold it one way, we've got BCV, I guess the Central Bank of Venezuela, in kind of rectangles. And then hold it another way, we've got the number 100 and another BCV written on it. And just like the last one, this one seems to weave in and out of this half of the paper, but it's not as even. So it looks like it's almost punched through and not evenly kind of torn, weaving in and out of the paper. I believe this is also a security feature right here where you can touch it, if like Braille feature on there. I think that's what those two dots are for. Next we have Zambia and 10 kwacha. So we've got kind of some kind of eagle on here. So we have the Bank of Zambia being shown on this 10 kwacha note. And we've got another face looking sideways. I don't know if that's the same as the guy that was on the other side, but we've got another 50. And this one might be the first one that I've had. A lot of these notes from Zambia look about the same to me. And so I may have had this one before. Although I don't recognize the figure here breaking the chains, so that is kind of a neat feature. It's one of the first ones where I've noticed the name of the company that printed the note. Thomas de la Rue and Company Limited is the producer of this note. We've got the same watermark as the last one. And then I think this one is our last note. This one might be a Rand. I was at first thinking this is the Ayatollah, but then I remember I may have seen one with this figure on it before also as a mathematician on here. So this is our second banknote with a mathematician. Can't really see the watermark yet, unless that's a horse, maybe. So Central Bank of Iraq, 10 dinars. And again, just going from memory, I think this one predates that. Maybe that might be a horse, maybe a pig. No, in every country wouldn't use a pig, I wouldn't think. So I think this is a banknote from the late 70s, predates Saddam Hussein. So that is our 25 banknotes, and I'm going to pause for a moment and see if I can get a book value on this, maybe label the ones that I didn't recognize earlier, and then come back and we'll see what we have next. Okay, I'm back. I spent over an hour looking all these up, so we're going to briefly review all the ones that we've got here. I'm going to point out a couple of extra notes on some of these, and I'll give you a book value for each one. This first one, which was Afghanistan, I didn't notice at first that the security stripe on this one is a glow-in-the-dark green on here. I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm going to give the Kraus catalog number for each one also. This is number 63 from 1993, books for $2. So are we going to get to $100 with these? They have to average $4 each. The one from Iraq with Saddam Hussein is the going to be catalog number 73 from 1986, books for $4.50. So we're going to have some that book over $4 to reach 100. This one was indeed from Cambodia. It is 10 reals, catalog 34, 1987, books for $2. The one from Croatia with the mathematician here is number 26. The 50,000 is the second largest one they ever made. They also made a 100,000. This one books for $3.50. The one from Bosnia and Herzegovina is catalog 11 from 1992. This one has a book value of $1.25. So if you're probably not adding them up at home, but after the first five, we're up to a catalog value of 1325, and we need to average 20 for every five to reach 100. So this one is the one from North Korea. This is one of a couple that I did have out of this lot. This is the 101 note, and it is the ruler here is Kim Il-sung. At least that's what the notes say. Catalog Kraus number 22 from 1978. Books for $5. From Zimbabwe, I did want to point out that this one also had a watermark that actually has the letters, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe on here, as long as looks like some eagle with a really tall neck. I wasn't quite sure what was going on here. Some kind of, maybe a pigeon with a really long neck. Not really sure what's going on. It didn't really match the fish that was on the back. But these were some they're called emergency bearer checks of the second dollar, which was abbreviated as the ZWN. And while this one was the $10 million, they made these from 1 cent all the way up to $500 million. This one is catalog CAM 55A from 2008, books for $4. This one from Peru is CAM 140 from 1988, books for $1. The one from Yugoslavia, 500 dinar, 91B from 1981, books for $1. And then this one from Cambodia is 500 riels, is 54B from 2004, books for $1. So we've now looked at 10 banknotes. We should be up to $40 on average to get to $100, but we're at $25.25. Next up, we're at Yugoslavia, the one that was the 500 billion dinara. This was the largest banknote they ever made. So this is KM 137 from 1993. And finally, we've got a high value one. This one books for $10. So we're going to need more from that. Not like I'm going to pay for my kids' college or anything like that. But it just, and let me just pause and say, I know that these, I couldn't go turn around and sell this to someone for what the catalog value is, but it does make it neat when everything's going to add up just right. So from Brazil, the 10 Cruzeiros is KM 193D. This one's going to be from 1980, books for $250. The 10 Soles de Oro from Peru is KM 112 from 1976, books for $1.50. This next one, the one from Somalia, was a little bit difficult for me to look up. This one turned out to be the only one that is not in the standard catalog of currency from 1960 to current. Instead, you have to go to the Kraus catalog of specialized currency. And the reason for that is these banknotes were made during the Somali Civil War. And if you see the word Mogadishu, well, that's how they spell Mogadishu. And so that these are the Northern Forces circulated these notes. So this gives one, the ones from the specialized catalog starts with an R. So this is R2. And because of the history of these, this was not circulated nationwide. If they were found in the southern part of Somalia, they were confiscated by the military. This one books for $15, so that is in the right direction. The one from Pakistan here for the 5 rupees is catalog 53A from 2008, books for $1. Since there's several different Congos, this one is the Congo Democrat Republic. 50 francs is catalog 97A from 2013, books for $5. Now the next 3 are from Kuwait. They don't have dates printed on them, but they're all 3 of them, the half dinar, the quarter dinar, and the 1 dinar, all are from circa 1991. And upon further inspection, these are all stolen, contraband stolen by the Iraqi forces during their warring days. And to figure that out, you're supposed to look at the prefix number that starts on every note. So this one starts with a 32, and I didn't write down the range of it, but that makes it kind of interesting that all 3 of these were stolen by Iraqi forces. I mean, there's several runs of them. That actually makes them more common than the ones that were not stolen by Iraqi forces, but maybe that makes them more likely to be uncirculated. That actually means that the value is less to find these uncirculated. All three of these book for $4. This one, for the 500 Sum, I did confirm this one is from Uzbekistan. It's KM 81 from 1999 and books for $7. Let me pause for a moment and say the Kuwait ones, the quarter dinar was 11D, the half dinar was 12D, and the 1 dinar was 13D. Before I get too far away from that one. This one I couldn't identify at the time. This one is from Belarus, and I believe the word Belarus is right here in Cyrillic. They made a note that there are two versions of this one where the security stripe is segmented and one where it's a solid stripe that goes all the way through it. The solid stripe is actually worth more, but this one has a book value of $3. So this is the one where I start to think that maybe the book value isn't what it's actually going to be worth. This one has a catalog number, a value of $30. And so with a book value like that, we're probably going to easily hit our mark. But this was the 100 Bolivares from 2017. It's KM 93, but the one that was printed in 2017 is too new to have a specific catalog number to it. So it's 93 something. I just don't know which one yet. Then when we get to the Zambian notes, I had a couple of these already, but I don't know if I had the 10 or the 50. So this one is 10E, circa 1988. Has a book value of $6. And then the 50 kwacha, also from 1988. I'm guessing because of the signature on here. The catalog does say if you read the signature, it gives you kind of an estimation when it's from. But the 50 kwacha was only made from 86 to 88. This one has a catalog value of $20 and KM number 28. Then we're going to finish the one with the Iraqi scientist. This one was from 1981 and is catalog KM 71, books for $5. So did we hit $100 catalog value on all these? Well, if you have one that was worth 30 and another worth 20, then that made it pretty easy to reach a catalog value of all those. I don't think I could turn around and sell those on eBay for what they claim to be worth, but all of these added up in my catalog to $143.25. So that did make $100. So I guess the guy knew what he had, of course. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.